Hello everybody and welcome back to Anno 1800 in the Garden of Sin, because here it is on this island that we're going to build a new settlement now. So I hope you have a cup of coffee at hand or a cup of tea, a few minutes, and sit back and relax, because we're going to build a new settlement here with the coffee fertility that we have. I hope at least that we can get this one up and running before we go to the engineers, which is our next goal that we might actually reach as well in this episode. Who knows about that, right? Let's go with the first few blocks that we have. So as we can see, they don't really cost that much. A few blocks here and there, and then perhaps a little marketplace. And of course, as we can see, this is probably going to be one of our biggest settlements yet, because we got lots of space just for the settlement itself. Over here, we're going to have our coffee, so we have a lot of space for coffee then as well. And, well, something in between here, also a lot of space. It's probably one of the most beautiful islands that we have so far, and that's the reason why I'm not going to place my marketplace right here in the center, but I'm going to place it more over here, because I think we're going to have several of these marketplaces then ready. So this is where we're going to have the first blocks of houses, and of course with just the houses it's not done yet. What we also will need, besides our beautiful sexy clay deposits, is some timber production. So let's have a bridge right now over to the next area in this case. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my timber production, right? Where we have the oil patches, but I'm never really going to use these oil patches here because, first of all, they're way too far away from each other. Plus, I think I get, a much more densely populated field over here, right? So those are just some, I don't know why, but three lonely patches of springs of oil that we have there. It doesn't make much sense for me to do anything here. And it makes more sense to build, well, some lumberjack huts and them having then also some sawmills, which we should have. And of course, they are going to connect it then right away. The same thing here. Very good. So they can deliver it now to the sawmills. They really don't have a huge range, these lumberjack huts. And we can start with our own little timber production. Now, since we do have that activated, let's continue with a few more houses. Whoop-de-doo. That we have just here.
Every man will be avenged.
And we destroyed another ship of her, but in that case, it's just fine. Also, let's have a fire station that we'll need. And of course, a bit more in the center perhaps. Let's just see here. Let's have this as a blueprint for now, because I think what we'll need here then is, whoops, I have the mouse click bug again. Not a very good thing. We want to have the chapel, of course. So let's just check if the chapel has the space. It has, very good. And then this way. But in that case, let's also make the chapel a bit more beautiful. So we have it here, the chapel, and right in front of it, perhaps a little entrance then with, let's just see what we have. Some statues or, well, a newspaper column right in front of the chapel. Not a bad thing, not a bad thing at all. There we have them in all their glory, where people can read the latest news. And let's just build the chapel there as well. And perhaps let's see some shrubs or bushes, New World bushes that we have there right away. Now, this is absolutely not looking beautiful at all. We do need to find us something else, something with a bit more color perhaps. Or some benches where people can sit. Why not? Right in front of the chapel. Perfect thing. People can sit there while going to the prayer as well. Right in front of the fire station. So whenever we have some fire, the firefighters are going right out here while the people praying. Need some quiet time for praying. Bad timing then. Now the Garden of Sin is growing. We have the timber production up and running. I would really like to go with some clay production then as well. But for now we can let it grow, because this is of course taking a bit of time. And we have the coffee fertility here then for the engineers. Let's go back to the old world, because in the old world not only do we have a color change from the bright and colorful new world to the, well, rather grayish looking old world. Not only do we have that, but oh, there's an attack, but it's only a ship of the line passing by. What we want to do here is, we want to change a few things. We want to change a few things ahead here. First of all, in the Rupture, what we have is a beautiful town, isn't it? But it is a bit too small for me. So we need to grow this town. We have the timber. The reason for that is I want to have my factories in, of course, as I said already, in Rosario. I want to have these factories in the Rupture. I want to have them here to make Rosario even more beautiful, which is one of my major goals. And I also want to, well, get a bit more room in the old world, in Rosario, so that I can have, well, a few more factories there of other kinds that we're going to need soon. Now, in that case, I will need to have a new marketplace as well. Those guys here still need some room there. And then I can continue here. I will probably have the pub. You always should have a pub. We don't have another pub here close by, right? We have one here. So I could have my pub there. Another block of houses. Of course, this costs me a bit of timber, but it should be absolutely fine then. As they should. Celebrating my leadership.
Spoil the fireworks.
And once again, we've destroyed something from Miss Hunt. She's really not happy about that. Let's upgrade some buildings right away to the workers. Because we're going to need around 500 workers, if my calculations are right. They usually aren't, so let's get a few more there. And this is looking good. Of course, they will grow a bit now, and then we should reach the 500, because I do need 500 workers for the sausage and the soap production that I have in Rosario already, and, well, put it here. We do have the space for that. I do have some sheep farms here. I will probably just get rid of them, because I can have the wool somewhere else as well. It's much more likely to have them here, where people can see that, and the ugly slaughterhouses far away. Of course, no one wants to see their pigs getting slaughtered. That is, of course, something that would be bad for the sausage consumption. Another thing that we should prepare as well is my steel farm of steel production, steel factories. The reason for that is I want to have the factories for the engineers here as well. They don't reduce attractiveness, and I want to boost all of that with my power then, because we're getting the oil here. Then I'm going to have a factory or an electricity power plant and another one up here, right? And for those guys, I will need space as well. And since steel is not exactly something that I want to have here in this on my main island, it's a good idea to have that somewhere else. Even though I gotta say that Rupture is looking pretty fine there as well, right? It might make for a beautiful big island then. It's just a small gunboat that is attacking.
Look at you swagger.
So it's not really something that I have to worry about there right now. So for the workers are coming in. The only thing that I miss here is bricks and timber. Both of that we have plenty of in Rosario. So let's send one of my clippers, Turmoil, and that is a fitting name, with some timber and some bricks. How many bricks do we need? Yeah, let's go with 100 tons. That should be better. We already have Condor here with even more bricks and even more windows. Reason for that is also that we have a lot of clippers coming in now to the Rupture as well, because we have the productions, and with sausage and with soap as well, we will need even more space here for the clippers. So I have prepared something, and with that I can build the pier.
Your harbor is under attack.
Right, so we can have another, instead of the fishermen perhaps, having another pier makes sense to me. There we have it. Right next to it. And the fishermen, of course, we can still have the fishermen then more like in this area. And we, of course, might make a better harbor then for the Rupture as well. Something is going on somewhere. Of course, I should be careful about my things here, especially when the harbor is under attack. Now, that is that. And in Catan we're probably going to have our factories. The factories we're going to have in this area, right? It's a very small, remote area where we can have all our steel productions. And for that reasons, we're going to need more resources. I do have bricks and steel beams that I need in Rosario. Quite a lot of them. By the way, is the cotton here? No, there's still no cotton here. I need to check on my cotton there as well. Let's get 100 tons of bricks and 100 tons of steel beams. And let's get this to Catan, or Catan as I like to call it. Oh, another ship is going down there. And the little gunboat there also getting destroyed, getting totally wrecked by my patrol. And as long as my ships off the line are working, you know, I feel pretty safe in this area here. So they are more or less my outer defense. Once they go down, I know that things are getting rough and I should prepare. So in the Rupture, we have the materials now, right? Where is my Clipper?
Your harbor
Now, there is my Clipper Turmoil with lots of resources, especially the bricks that we need. And what we can do now, first of all, I'm going to get rid of the pig head route. I no longer need that. So that's at least one route less. And then we have now all the space here. So let's get rid of my pig farms, my sheep farms. Those sheep farms I will replace and put them down. Since I don't need that much space, right? I can have them, let's see, perhaps a bit closer to my town. Perhaps here, where we have the hops. Yeah, I can totally squeeze them in here. This is perfect. This is a very good location for 3 of them.
ship under attack.
Do you really need to fully sink them?
Righto. Perfect squeeze. And they can work now from here. Of course, we'll probably need to upgrade that warehouse then. And up here we have now lots of space, a copper deposit there as well, but I probably don't need that. Let's have another warehouse for what's to come. And let's just check what we need now. We do need for the sausage 6 slaughterhouses.
Ship under attack.
So 6 slaughterhouses it is what I need in this area. My god, would you please shut up?
Don't expect you'll show me
No, and I don't
mercy,
want to
Walter.
see you here as well. There we got the 6 of them, getting us the sausages. Of course, I'm probably going to have another warehouse up here as well. So those slaughterhouses won't have to travel so far all the time. And then we need the rendering works, and yep, to make it a bit more profitable or efficient, let's make the street a bit wider. 4 rendering works and 2 soap factories is what we have at the moment. So 4 of them, and that will be for more of them. And then 2 soap factories that I can have then just here.
A ship was destroyed.
Alright, one of my... Why was it so close to that again? I checked my routes last time and it was working. It was probably my rum, right? Or... No, there's nothing else here. We have the cotton, we have the rum. Oh, Miss Hunt, I hate you for what you've done. We need to change those routes there a bit. Not the best defense she's got here anyway. We might just crush her. How much would be a share? 67,000. We might actually... Let's start purchasing some shares. Right? I purchased the shares. Once I have all of them, I can purchase the island. And since it's not that expensive, I might just save myself the time or the ships and just purchase that since we do have the money. Plus, with every share that I purchase, I get a bit of a higher balance. Just like with stocks. It's a good thing. Now we have that working. I do need 2 trade routes. One for the sausage from Rupture to Rosario. In that case, let's go with all the sausage that you have and get it to Rosario. Of course, the people in Rupture are happy for the sausages as well, but I have to say that it's really just a bonus for them to have it from time to time. The next one is the soap trade route from Rupture, going with all the soap. Oh, and the newspaper guy. Very good. That is the soap, and let's have also... Yeah, turmoil on it. Turmoil is already here.
Aye.
Oh, turmoil actually has some bricks there as well. Let's just have the newspaper guy. Not this one. This one. Minus 25% right is totally fine. Let's go with a bit of money as well. My harbor. There's nothing here. There was just a smaller one. These messages. He sounds way more dramatic than it really is then. Let's get the bricks overboard. And as we can see, we have actually enough workforce. That is, of course, because some some sausage and some soap is coming in. And that means that they boosted their population there a bit. So let's just have a few more here. That is fine. So we have enough workforce for future expansions, right? For slaughterhouses, for the rendering works, for more soap factories. Slaughterhouses I will then have here on the side as well. Just fits in there. And more pig farms, of course. The whole thing here can be full of pig farms in the future. That is that. And those trade routes are working now. Now, another thing that I've totally forgot is Lauros or Lurus Kaidos. We have still our cannon towers that we need to finish here. And we're down to 9 influence now. We really need to watch out there. And we have 13,000 people, by the way, which is amazing. And as we can see, in this ordinary village, we have the 3 hunting cabins here. And still 147 farmer workforce left. So this little village is totally doing it. What we still need is some more clippers. You can really never have enough clippers. This is a frigate there. Yep. But I don't care about it. What I care about is a new trade route that we need once again. And that is going from Kairos to Rosario. And it's going to be full of, yeah, the furs. The furs are already capped on this island there. It's not a big deal because we don't have the cotton fabrics in Rosario yet. So, Mosquito, you can be on that trade route. Should be quite safe anyway. Is on the way now. And let's just have a look. We should have the first cotton fabric. There it is. So all we need now is the furs. And for that, I've already prepared now my sausages in the rupture. So let's get rid of these factories here. Also the rendering works. And just look at how big the attractiveness bonus is when I get rid of those ugly factories there. Plus we also have a lot of space now once again in this area as well. We do have the trade union here, of course. The item we no longer need. And of course for the sewing machine factories, I still want to have at least two more, space for two more in this area. And there we have them. Right, so let's build them like that. Or is it better to build them like that? I think this might be better. Yeah. There we can squeeze in a few more. And don't forget that in here in the center we're going to have then the power plant, right? That is powering everything. Or here in fact, right? The glass makers. We can have the glass makers. Let's see. This is very important for the future. The glass makers. We can actually squeeze them in here, which is even better. There we still have a bit of space for probably something else. And we can actually, and we should be doing that, get rid of them here. Because this is where we have the power factory then, which is powering everything with electricity. So it needs to be in the center. And here we have the space now for the fur coats. Because that is a factory that doesn't take that much space, doesn't need that much space. And we can have a few of them here as well. There's going to be harbor here. And I think we are able to squeeze in quite a lot of them. I don't think we'll need 4 for quite some time, but for now it should be fine. Let's also get rid of that ornament there. This is looking much better now, and here we have then the power plant. Very good indeed. And I think we can now also build the first 2 fur makers, fur dealers as they're called. There they are in all their glory, 1806. So let's just pretend it is the year 1806 already. And they're getting now the cotton and the furs and produce us some sexy fur coats. Making my people more beautiful in that case. That is the last resource, by the way. So the only thing that's missing now for us to continue to the engineers is the university. So for the university, we do need our own little space. Now that is a bit more tricky. I really don't want to get rid of any other buildings here anymore. So what can we do? We can get rid of the marketplace. Let's just check that real quick here. Because those artisans, they don't need the marketplace. They need a school, but that's it, right? The workers though, however, still need the marketplace. So we do need to get rid of all the workers here, per se, well, upgrading them. That's what I mean with that. We have more workers here. Let's upgrade all of them to artisans. And then of course we have the problem with the resources, but it's not a big problem. And since I can't upgrade all of them at once, I might just go with a little marketplace up here. Ah, that's very close. Yes, very close. And you know what? Let's just also get rid of my framework knitters. It's a very basic production that we actually don't need that many anymore, since the artisans don't need workload. The more artisans I have, the less the demand for those framework knitters is, right? So if I upgrade a few more of them, that's easy. And here we can squeeze in now the marketplace. That is going to work for quite some time. It's only costing us 10 timber really, and we can use them, and thus we can get rid of this marketplace. And let's just wait. I think there is no problem with it. So people still have their marketplace, and here, yeah, we can actually squeeze in our university. Now the university is though much bigger than this place, so let's just have a look at it. There it is. It's a beautiful building, and we should be, yeah, getting rid of those 2 buildings there. Sorry, pals. It's really for the best. And it has a huge range, by the way. So the university will extend to this area as well, which is going to be a living space soon as well, and up to this space here as well. And a second university I can easily build in this area then to later, much later, if I do need it, right? And let's just see. This is the better spot for it. There it is in its blueprint form. We do need quite a lot of steel beams and bricks for this one to work still, right? So this is still a work in progress, but look at that. It's absolutely looking fantastic, the whole thing. We have a little area here where we have the theater, the church, and then the university as well. So a little central space here. In fact, since we actually can afford it, what I could do, I could get rid of this street here. I think this is not a problem.
Ship under attack.
And just move this one, university, a bit further to this area. Right, they still have everything here they want. Yeah, perfectly fine. Nothing has been disrupted by that. And here we have then a better, a more beautiful space to do something, right? So like the university of course needs a direct connection. And then we can have some ornaments here as well if we want that. And of course we want that. But we're doing this then later. So university stands. The
city has grown more beautiful.
fur coats should be coming in soon. So once we have the fur, which should be delivered now. But there are a lot of... Oh, there are a lot of clippers waiting here once again, even though we have the 2 piers. So we'll probably need a 3rd pier now as well with all the new trade routes coming in. And our industrial district, while it is on fire, I predict a bright future for this one. Oh, even though more and more buildings are catching fire, I still predict a bright future, right? I'm going to build another fire station in this area and hope that, well, I don't have to pay anything else in addition here. Stay tuned.